Well, good Sunday afternoon, grandchildren. It is Sunday, June 19th, 2022, and we're to another Bible verse that I'm encouraging you to memorize as part of our weekly Bible verses. It's from Galatians chapter 5, verse 2. It's one of Papa's new Bible verses. Papa's still learning, just like he wants you to learn. And there's nothing more important to learn than Scripture, because Scripture is the only way that we can be separated from this world of darkness to live a life in the light of Christ. It makes life sense when you know the light of Christ. It will help you decide what is right, what is wrong, who to be friends with, who's not to be friends with, who to marry, and probably who you shouldn't marry. So all these things can be done in the light of Christ by one way, that you're adopted into the family of God by faith in Jesus Christ, that he died for you and that he rose from that grave. You believe that you understand that you've done wrong, that separates us from God. But God restores us back into his family by faith in Jesus Christ. That's the power of the gospel. So, let's go here and break this verse in a little bit. Behold. We don't use the word behold much anymore, but behold means, hey, look here. This is really, really, really important. It says, I, Paul, say unto you. When you're reading the Bible and you see the word you in the Bible, that means God is directly talking to the person reading the Bible. That's you. So as you read this verse, God is talking to you. He's saying, behold, I, Paul, say unto you that if is a big word. Even though it's two letters, it's a big, big word. If you believe, you go to heaven. If you don't believe, you won't. If you believe, that's the question. If you believe, we know what to believe on the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Behold, if ye be circumcised. What that circumcised means is, if you add anything to your faith other than the death and resurrection, you can't make it to heaven. See, heaven, getting into heaven is a very narrow road with a very narrow gate that tells us in Matthew only a few will make it to heaven. Only a few. But you can. If you get the if right, you can. You can be on a narrow road to heaven if you believe. You don't add anything to belief. You don't add baptism. You don't add going to church. You don't add reading the Bible as part of your salvation. It's only one thing. You believe that Jesus Christ did everything. The Bible tells you you've sinned, you've done wrong. You believe that, and then you believe that Jesus paid your debt of sin. It's that simple and that powerful. Behold, I, Paul, say unto you that if you be circumcised, or if you add anything to the gospel, you're not on a narrow road. You're on a broad road that does not lead to heaven. You have to be on a narrow road. But look what happens if you add anything to the gospel. Christ shall not profit you nothing. You have no road to heaven. You're on the wrong path, which isn't good. You can go on a narrow path today. You can go through that narrow door today. It's by believing on the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Nothing else. And take this as a warning. Take this as a warning that you're going to defend the gospel, that I'm just going to believe on the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. I'm going to trust that and nothing else. Love you guys.